Recently, Anacortes High School lost a beloved teacher and friend. Mr. Simensen was Anacortes' middle and high school band teacher. A pivotal part of the music community in Anacortes, Ian Simensen was loved by many.
B, ready. I searched the school on YouTube and found The Rock, and I watched several of those videos, and the first ones I saw were band students talking about their teacher who was sick, Mr. Simensen. And I kind of had a heart for that situation. I filled in on medical leave in one of my previous jobs where I was filling in for someone who was sick and helped those students through that time. And I've also dealt with loss on my own, so I felt like this was a place where I could use my personal experiences to help a community of students get through what I knew was a tough time for them while still doing my favorite thing, which is teaching music and teaching band. The thing that we think about is that it's not hard to be motivated. The loss of someone so important to us sometimes can encourage us to want to do our best and to be the best people we can be, to be the people that mentor taught us to be, and I can tell that the students take that approach. I even had a student that returned to band after Mr. Simensen passed, someone who had stepped away from the program and decided to come back and do what they knew they were meant to do, which was play music. So a lot of that motivation is intrinsic in the students. They have that on their own, and I'm kind of there to facilitate that and to use that love that they have for their former teacher, use that love in what they're doing every day, and the satisfaction that comes out of that is something that's you can't really teach it. It's just a thing that we experience and feel fulfilled in our lives for having the opportunity to honor him through continuing playing.
For those who were students of Mr. Simensen, he was much more than a teacher. He was family.
Simensen made such a big impact on so many people. Like, he affected anyone who had ever met him, and so it's crazy to think of how big of an impact he made on people in such a short amount of time, and how some people go throughout their entire life and never affect anyone in such a positive way.
He's probably one of the quirkiest teachers I've ever had. He would always just break out in song or say something in Spanish randomly. And that really made for a fun environment in band, and he's probably one of the reasons that I joined band again.
I remember that at least when I was in middle school, he would always get on us to look him in the eyes as he's conducting, and he'd slowly pan his eyes over each of us as we were playing, and if you didn't see him, if you didn't meet eyes with him, he'd make this weird face, and he'd scrunch up his face really hard and stare you right in the eyes until everyone around you was laughing and that you had no choice to look up at his eyes and meet his eyes, and then he'd just go back to normal and move on to the next phase like nothing had happened. And it always derailed our band instantly, even though he was trying to get us to play better. It never worked, but it was such a fun thing to do.
One fond memory I have of Mr. Simensen is one year, I think it was 6th grade, when he showed up at my house for my family's Halloween party. He wasn't dressed up as anything, and he just stood in the corner eating his food, and then he was just really awkward, which is one trait of Mr. Simensen. It was hilarious. And then he actually went trick-or-treating with us, which was it was just hilarious because he would be like, "Okay, go into that house and get some candy, kids," and we'd go in, and then he'd be like, "What did you get?" And we'd show him. Yeah, it was just really funny.
He brought someone new out of me, and for that I can never repay you for what you've brought into my life, and I just really appreciate you as a person, and I miss you a lot, so thank you.